Good morning, dear students. Today's we are discuss on in vitro in vivo correlation. In vitro in vivo correlation. Under this, we study definition of in vitro in vivo correlation, why we require in vitro in vivo correlation, parameter and method of correlation, level of in vitro in vivo correlation, generation of in vitro release profile, generation of in vivo release profile, predictability error and issues, in vitro, in silico, in vivo correlation and applications. First is the definition of in vitro and in vivo correlation. It is the relationship between in vitro properties like dissolution and in vivo response. If we have valid in vitro in vivo methods, then valid correlation will be developed. Why we require in vitro and in vivo correlation? To find change in process effect, effect of site change, effect of formulations, and effect for bioweaver of bioavailability and bioequivalence testing, to minimize unnecessary human testing, to set up meaningful in vitro release specification, decreased regulatory burdens, to minimize product cost and time required in additional viability studies. And the parameters used in vitro in vivo correlation is the for level A in vitro dissolution curve, in vivo input absorption curve, for level B in vitro mean dissolution time, in vivo mean residence time and mean absorption time or mean dissolution time. For level C, disintegration time, time to have 10%, 50 or 90% dissolution rate, dissolution efficiency. In vivo, Cmax, Tmax, absorption rate constant, time to have 10%, 50%, 90% absorption, area under curve, that is total or cumulative. Next is the method of in vitro in vivo correlation. Two methods are used generally, convolution and deconvolution. Under convolution, we join together three signals, input, output, and as well as signal characterizing the system or subject of our studies. In deconvolution, we determine the unknown input signal. In convolution, dissolution data may be evaluated using criteria for in vivo viability and bioequivalence statement assessment based on Cmax and AUC parameters. A numeric deconvolution is a numerical method used to estimate the time course of drug input using mathematical model based on convolution importance. In convolution, we use a software or computer software, non-linear mixed effect model can be fit to the data, model linking the in vitro, in vivo components. In deconvolution, drug absorbed is estimated using Wagner-Nelson or Lurie-Gilman method. In convolution, the relationship between in vitro release and plasma concentration is molded directly in a single stage rather than via indirect two-stage approach. In deconvolution, it is difficult to calculate in vivo dissolution data from a blood profile or often require mathematical computing expertise. First is the level of in vitro in vivo correlation, level A. This level is also known as point-to-point relationship level. In this, first deconvolution to get in vivo percentage drug absorbed, then compare with percentage drug dissolved. In this, the in vitro dissolution and in vivo input curve may be directly superimposable as shown in the figure. Next is the level B. Level B is known as the statistical movement analysis, in which we determine the MRT, MDT in vivo versus MDT in vitro. MRT, mean residence time, is equal to AUMC divided by AUC. As we find out the AUC, AUMC is determined as same method, but in this consultation into time versus time curve is developed, and the area under curve this find out is known as AUMC, as the relationship is shown in graph plotted between in vivo and in vitro mean dissolution time. And next is the level C relationship, in which also known as single point relationship. In this, pharmacokinetic parameters versus percentage dissolve curve is 12. This is the weakest level of correlation, and as shown in the graph. The flow chart of in vitro and in vivo correlation. Under this, we take 3 steps. First one is the active pharmaceutical ingredient physiochemical properties, and then classify according to biopharmaceutics classification system. Then find out the pharmacokinetic data, Cmax, AUC, Tmax. Second step, dosage form properties like biorelevant dissolution profile, mean dissolution time, and both the data are put into the computer program or computer software known as nonlinear mixed effect model. Under this, using convolution including pharmacokinetic models and pharmacokinetic parameters, API properties or drug list data. Then develop in vitro and vivo correlation. Generation of in vitro list profile. Under this, dissolution apparatus is selected, either apparatus 1 or 2, and RPM are selected as per requirement. Aqueous medium 900 ml. pH may be between 1 to 7.4. Temperature 37 plus minus 0.2 degrees Celsius. Under this, we simulated gastric fluid for class 1 and simulated intestinal fluid for class 3 is taken. In vitro food effect is also studies. Under this, we take effect of oil, enzyme and pH. For this, rotating dialysis cell method is used. For the generation of in vitro dissolution profile, the formulation data were fitted into any one of the following equation like Hill function and Weibull functions. In these equations, we find F disso in vitro is the fraction dissolved at time t. F inf represent the fraction dissolved at infinity time, that is fixed to 1. MDT is the mean dissolution time and B is the slope factor. And similar other one is the similarity factor. The similarity factor is also determined. In this, percentage dissolution between two curves are compared. This is represented by F, and in this equation WT is the optimal weighing factor. RT and TT represent the reference and test dissolution respectively. N represent the number of dissolution point, and F2 is greater than 50, or it may lies between 50 to 100. This means equivalence of two curves is perfect. Dissolution specification. First is the without correlation. In this, plus minus 10% of label claim for mean dissolution profile of bio or clinical batch only, and can also be greater than 10% but range not greater than 25% in certain cases. With correlation, all batches should have dissolution profile with upper and lower predicted bioequivalence. Proper or biorelevant dissolution conditions. Under this we consider medium, volume, duration, apparatus and pH lies between 1 to 7.4. The predictive of viability. Under this similar condition, similar dissolution, similar viability is there. Next is the generation of in vivo release profile. Under this we use compartment model, and for compartment model we find out the parameters elimination and absorption rate constant. For this we use Wagner-Nelson method for one compartment, Lou-Rigelman method for two compartment. Linear system models. Under this deconvolution and convolution method are used as discussed earlier, and mathematically all yields the same result. Other method for generating in vitro release profile for non-linear relationship between fraction dissolved and fraction absorbed was put under the equation as given, where the in equation alpha is the ratio of first order permeation rate constant to first order dissolution rate constant. F inf represent the fraction of dose absorbed at any time infinity. D is the fraction of total amount of drug absorbed at time t. For the high value of alpha, dissolution is the rate limiting step in absorption process, and a linear correlation, that is level A. If the value of alpha is small, then give rise to short parabolic relationship, that is non-linear relationship, for which linear relationship constant is 1.92 shown in vitro rapid initial dissolution rate as compared to that of in vivo. The in vitro in vivo correlation bench issues may be due to the following. First is the reliable and biorelevant dissolution medium method apparatus suitability. For method and apparatus suitability are responsible for qualification and calibration of equipment, sink condition, ability to discriminate non-bioequivalent load, apparatus and medium for continuous in vitro in vivo correlation minimum 3 loads, and tuning with GI conditions. Accurate deconvolution of plasma concentration time profile. Percentage absorbed in vivo may be reflective than release. Absorption rate limitation is common for control release product. Dissolution specification are same as based on biological findings rather than the pharmacopoeia. The other issues intra and inter-subject variation. High variation can alter the mean data and rotate the deconvolution. These are due to enterohepatic recycling and second peak, reproducibility of reference profile. Next is the modeling. Modeling issues may be due to smoothness of input and response function, stability of numerical method, jump in input rate, that is delayed release or gastric emptying, statistical properties of model, Cmax and AUC. Next is the in vitro in silico in vivo correlation. In silico is an expression performed on computer or via computer simulation. Miramont used the term first time in silico to characterize the biological experiments carried out entirely on computer. In silico studies predict how drug interact with body and with pathogen. For example, software emulsions used to predict how certain drug already in market could treat multi-drug resistant and extensively drug resistant strain of tuberculosis. This approach is used in drug discovery and early preclinical phase where pharmacokinetic data is not available. simulation of structure property of a molecule, and to generate experimental data. There are two in silico approaches for prediction of in vivo oral absorption. First is the statistical model and second is the mechanism based model. There are variety of in silico technique are discussed. First is the bacterial sequencing technique as an alternative to in vitro method for identifying bacteria. In this sequence, bacterial DNA and RNA have been developed using polymerase chain reaction. The polymerase chain reaction takes a single or few copies of a piece of DNA and generating millions or more than copy of particular DNA sequence. It allows to detect bacteria associated with a variety of conditions with increasingly high sensitivity. Next is the molecular modeling. In silico work, demonstrating how drug and other substances interact with the nuclear receptor of cell. The computer-based emulsion show that 25D, one of vitamin D metabolite and capenin. Capenin is the substance produced by bacteria that turn off the vitamin D receptor. These results have been validated by clinical observations. Next is the whole cell simulation method. This is built a computer model of crowded interior of bacterial cell to find its response to sugar in its environment, accurately reproduce the behavior of living cell. Next is the mechanism based model, that is GastroPlus. In this model, input of software includes oral dose, physicochemical properties like pH solubility, pH profile, permeability, etc. Next is the physiochemical properties, that is physiological properties. Under this, species, GIT transit, GI pH, food status, etc. consider. Formulation properties like release profile, particle size, etc. Next is the pharmacokinetic parameters that are optimal. Next is output of the software includes, first one is the fraction of oral dose absorbed. Next is the plasma concentration, time profile if pharmacokinetic parameters are suitable. Next is the case study by GastroPlus. In this we study whether the particle size requirement of compound 1 or may be relaxed for 35 to 100 micron without affecting the oral viability or the particle size. In this, a simulation suggests that extent of absorption is not sensitive to change in particle size in range of 35 to 250 micron. This helps in decision making with respect to dosage form design. Next is the failure of level A in vitro in vivo correlation. For level A analysis, we find out fractional absorption or viability against fractional dissolution requires linear regulation relationship. If IR product is less successful, that is immediate release product less successful as they do not show dissolution limited absorption. A reason for this lack of success and acceptance. For control release product rather than IR product are the focus in vitro in vivo correlation. This indicates that dissolution from such product as an alternative for viability studies. Acceptance criteria for in vitro in vivo correlation. According to FDA, if the absolute prediction error is less or equal to 15% of each formulation, or if the mean absolute prediction error less than or equal to 10% are acceptable. For the finding the prediction error, we use for Cmax prediction error absolute is equal to Cmax observed minus Cmax predicted divided by Cmax observed into 100. For AUC, absolute prediction error is equal to area under curve observed minus area under curve predicted divided by area under curve observed into 100. Applications of in vitro in vivo correlation. First is the Bioweaver. This is the main role of establishing in vitro in vivo correlation and dissolution test as a surrogate for human studies. Next is the establishment of dissolution specification. Dissolution specifications may be used to minimize the possibility of difference between in vitro and in vivo performance. Next is the product development of new formulation. In this, pre-formulation studies and laboratory scale trials are used. Optimization of formulation and process. We predict the in vitro in vivo correlation validated. Scale up and post approval changes. The dissolution data are used to judge the impact of process changes. Design and analysis of clinical studies possibly needed for generating in vitro in vivo correlation. Optimization of in vitro dissolution system to be predictor of in vivo performance. Next is the development and validation of level A and C, including linear and non-linear model respectively. Some softwares used for in vitro in vivo correlations are Win, NonLin, in vitro in vivo, Toolkit, GastroPlus, 6.1 in vitro in vivo correlation plus, PDX in vitro in vivo correlation, Triple D plus, and in vitro in vivo correlation for R. After the completion of this lecture, students will try to do this assignment problem as distinguish the convolution and deconvolution model. What do you mean or do you understand by in vitro in vivo in silico method and write case study on it. Discuss in detail the in vitro in vivo correlation. Regarding this, if any problem or clearance, then you can follow the following articles or books like Biopharmaceutics and Pharmacokinetic by Barmankar, by P.L. Madan, and Applied Biopharmaceutics and Pharmacokinetics 7th edition by Leon Sarsen. Thank you.